Oklahoma and West Virginia both coming off losses. They meet in Morgantown this week. We've got Steve Merrill, as we always do on a Thursday, from Wager Talk. Get on over to wagertalk.com for the latest in Steve's selections and money management system, NFL college football. All right, Steve, we got Oklahoma coming in with a 5-4 record, going to West Virginia. The Mountaineers lost to the last place team, Iowa State, in the conference. So a couple teams that are struggling at this point.
No question about it. I mean, West Virginia 3-6 on the season. They are 4-5 against the number, whereas Oklahoma 5-4 straight up is just 3-6 against the number. And you know, Oklahoma, obviously, the loss to Kansas State did seem to carry over. They got blown out by TCU, blown out by Texas, and then people thought, hey, they haven't quit on the season, right? And a somewhat impressive win against Kansas, also a decent win against Iowa State, who's probably better than their overall record. But I'm not so sure they've turned their season around, because keep in mind, they've still only covered one of the last 6 games against the spread. The closing number against Kansas, they did not cover. They covered the opening numbers. So they've only easily covered one game the last 6 games, and that was that Iowa State game. And then last week they lose outright as a favorite against Baylor, a high-scoring 38-35 loss. Now their 4th loss on the season, a team that had national title hopes just a month and a half ago. I definitely think that could linger, especially on the road in a hostile environment. West Virginia is not having a good season. As I mentioned, this is basically kind of their bowl game. They're going to get up for this game, and they basically have to win out to make a bowl because they're 3-6. And there is some line value with West Virginia here, the 8 points. My math simulation, 10,000 simulations in my database, has Oklahoma winning by just 5.5 points on average. So it more than a touchdown, the line value, and I think the situational setup favors West Virginia on Saturday.
Folks, I was out of my mind last Saturday. I took North Carolina to cover the 7. Seems like a reasonable play, except Steve said, under the radar selection, take Virginia plus the 7. He was right, and he's 9-1 in his exclusive under the radar selections on Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Mark Rogers TV, sign up right there, get Steve's selections and a whole lot more right there. Steve, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Mark.